Welcome back, Truth Seeker. February 13th, 2018. Today is the 44th day of the year, and we have breaking news out of Israel. The Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, being indicted by Israeli police. And if you followed my work over the years, we've talked about the significance of 44 to Israel and Netanyahu. 2015, I made a video on why it was a national news story that this man had a 44-second pause of silence at the United Nations. Why did the world need to know about that? It's because everything in the news is part of a code of letters and numbers and dates on the calendar, which is important to Freemasonry. Freemasonry and Zionism are what are responsible for the Zionist nation of Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu is a puppet on strings, the same way Donald Trump and every president in the United States who came before him is a puppet on strings. Most world leaders are puppets on strings. The New World Order is an old world order. It's a Masonic world order, and it has controlled the news with propaganda executed by a code for a very long time. So here we are in 2018, and we're still talking about 44, Israel, Netanyahu. Check this out. In the language of gematria, using the base ciphers, Israel equals 44, just like the word Zion. Israel's the Zionist nation. Netanyahu, gematria 44, the same as Israel and Zion. He's an absolute Zionist. He is Israel's prime minister. In Hebrew, Benjamin Netanyahu's name is written this way, and in Hebrew gematria, his name sums to 44. There is a lot of overlap with English and Hebrew in this code of letters and numbers. A lot of words that have the same numeric value. I documented how on Jerusalem Day, 2017, Donald Trump was in Israel with Netanyahu, and together they visited the Western Wall. Notice Jerusalem Day equals 44, so does Western Wall. Donald Trump's the 45th president, but he's only the 44th person to be president because Grover Cleveland was number 22 and number 24, making the 25th president, the 24th person, and so on. Trump's the 44th man to be president. Fateful number as well. The first president to die in office, William Henry Harrison, died on April 4th, 1841. JFK, the last presidential assassination, he was the 44th term president. The word kill equals 44. Abraham equals 44 using the alphabetic order, the same as kill. The first presidential assassination. Garfield equals 44 and a whole lot more. Every president to die in office has died in connection to the number 44. So anyhow, Jerusalem Day, 44. Western Wall, 44. Trump, the 44th person to be president. 44 kings of Israel. He was with Netanyahu, Mr. 44, on this day, on this trip to the Western Wall. The name Benjamin Netanyahu in Hebrew also sums to 134, and here's why that's important. Jerusalem Day happens to equal 134. Same with Trump's motto, Make America Great Again, 134. Notice Netanyahu, also 134. Tisha B'Av is to remember the destruction of the two temples, meaning it has to do with destruction. Tisha B'Av is the same as 9th of Av. They're the same thing. This is the English way to say it, the 9th day of Av, which is the month on the Jewish calendar. Notice, both 134. And this number is stamped on Trump's administration in a whole lot of ways. And I want to remind something else I should have put up here, is during the time Trump was running for president, there was a hit show about the presidency called House of Cards, which has this gematria of 134. Means a market or a company that's about to crumble, destruction, House of Cards. Tisha B'Av in Jewish gematria equals 911. To remember the destruction of the two temples? How about the two towers? How about the dancing Israelis who were sent back to Israel on 9/11, who after being arrested by the FBI said they were here to document the attack? Why didn't we follow up on that story? Israel had foreknowledge. What do you know? Look at the name of Trump's wife, his latest wife, who was married ritualistically, synced up with the presidency, as I covered back in 2016. Melania, 134 and 44. You see? If you're new here, got to learn the base ciphers. Alphabetic order forwards and backwards. So much important information. We just saw the actor from House of Cards die this past Friday, 190 days from his birthday. And that was on the same day that it was reported that the market had its worst week since the 2008 financial collapse. Then the most beloved character from the show dies that evening. If you missed my video on Reggie Cathy's death, check it out. But this is why you're hearing about Netanyahu on the 44th day of the year. All of these men are puppets. This is just part of his puppet script today, that he's been indicted on charges. Breaking news. They always got to have something to stir the minds of the masses. And also interesting is that Benjamin Netanyahu has Gematria of 93. If you know my work over the years, we've shown how important this number is to Zionist Israel that had its borders drawn on September 3rd, 9/3. Jewish people go by the 39 books in the Old Testament, the reflection of the number. Very important number all throughout Israel's history. So we'll leave it there. More proof of the code and how significant it is. For anyone to call all this coincidence, it's just a sign that they have no critical thinking skills and they are absolute fools, which most people are. That's the day and age we live in. The day of the moron. The day of the idiocracy. I think if my book sells, the next thing I'm going to do is film a documentary just going around America on a book tour, just interviewing people on the streets. I'll make multiple documentaries, but one's going to be a comedy revealing the true idiocracy and just how dumb people are in this nation. It'll be a riot. All right, truth seeker. Until next time.